Okay, so welcome folks. I don't think I've got anyone watching at the moment. I'm going to get straight into it. I'm going to be aiming to do some inking tonight. So aiming for about an hour, something like that. So the thing that I was thinking of inking was I did a little drawing which I started this morning. I thought I'll give that a go. Oh, there we go. So it's like this kind of Monkey King type character. I thought I'd ink it, possibly ink these as well, depending on time and all that. We'll see how we get on. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm just going to go and zoom in, like so. Now I've got a kind of vague idea of what I'm going to be doing with this, but basically the same thing as we do, I guess, every time, which is a bit of inking and a bit of chat if anyone turns up. We've got 2 people watching at the moment, so welcome to you. If you're new here, thanks for dropping by. And yes, let's just get crack on. So how it usually works is I'll be doing a bit of sketching, and you can ask questions if you want, or you can just chill, sit back, enjoy, and away we go. Kingston Q5R, did you draw that? Yes, I did draw that. I'll just do a little recap. If you're just joining me, Kingston Q5R, and I'm saying hi back to you as well. So I do these daily, well, try and do like daily, or if not daily, every other day. I do these sort of ink drawings, pencil sketches. I've also got a TikTok channel where I do like speed drawings, speed inkings. It's my name, so it's Jason Etienne. If you go on TikTok, I'm also on Instagram, and I do this kind of thing. Usually have some regulars. They may be here or may not be here today. They'll be able to tell you a little bit more about what I do, but it's mainly like kind of like fantasy, sci-fi, stuff like that. So this morning I was doing this kind of sketch of this kind of like Monkey King. I thought I'll ink into it, and let's just see where we go. So that's what I do. That's what I'm doing. Thanks for dropping by, and hopefully you stay for a little while, or if not, be sure to give us a like, comment and subscribe, and you can check the video out a little bit later. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's very kind, Kingston. That's very kind of you. Thank you. James, welcome, James. Evening, evening. Shush. I can't pronounce it. Should we just call you Shush? Shush. I'll just call you Shush. Wow. Thank you, Shush. That's very kind. I'm saying hi back to you as well. Kingston, how did you get to this level of drawing? Well, okay, I'm not going to disclose my age, but let's just say, you know, I was a kid of the 70s, let's put it that way. So you can do the maths on that. I've been drawing all of my life. I'll just give you like a mini CV. Been drawing most of my life. Started out actually just doing drawing. I did graffiti art back in the 80s. Then went to college, did graphic design, then got into stop frame animation. And long story short, made a bunch of films, and then worked in the film industry for almost 10 years doing prop design, concepts, drafting, things like that. And then, and then brings up to the present day, really. I now teach games art at Coventry University. So there we are. That was a whirlwind tour of my CV. Let's have a look. I've got some comments coming in here. Shush, wow, I think you said, I think I've read that. Thank you, Shush. Saying hi back to you. Say Nicole. Okay, Nicole. Hi, Nicole, if Nicole's watching. That's from Shush. Troy Boy, hi. Hi, Troy Boy. Oh, right, Shush. It's you are Nicole. So, hi, Nicole. Kingston, cool. James. Thank you, James. He's always my man in the corner, James. Hit thumbs up and subscribe if you like the content. Thank you, James. Troy Boy, how are you? I'm doing very well. Hope you're doing very well too. Shush, I love your drawings. Thanks, Nicole. That's very kind of you. Again, if you want to see some more, go on to TikTok. It's my name, Jason Etienne. That's Jason, surname Etienne. And I usually daily upload stuff onto there. Nicole subscribing. Thank you, Nicole. That's very, very kind of you. It's great to have you on board. Have I ever drawn Stranger Things? I think the second person who's asked me that about Stranger Things. I didn't really get into the show. I've seen bits of it. It looks, because it's got that 80s kind of retro feel about it. So I love all that kind of stuff. I've not thought about it, but I am open to suggestions. So if you did have an idea of a scene, I could probably do my own kind of version of it. I know it's kind of like interdimensional horror, essentially. It's kind of like, it's probably like a combination of all kinds of things, isn't it? Like The Explorers from the 80s. And what was the other one? Oh, what's that? Goonies. It's all that kind of vibe, isn't it? From what I remember. Right, so let's get going. I'm going to start off. Like I say, if I've got time to do the other illustration, I will do. We'll just sort of see how I get on. And I'm just trying to get set up. Yeah, let's just get going, shall we? Let's just get going. So yeah, so this is going to be a sort of Monkey King type character. Shall I zoom in? No, I don't think that's okay, actually. You can see that all right, can't you? And yeah, just you can ask questions or just chill and watch. It's entirely up to you. Let me see if I just covered all the chats. Thanks, James. Thanks for making everyone welcome. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Kingston, do you like drawing demonic stuff? I don't tend to kind of, I'll tell you why. It's not that I'm averse to it, but I found it's a bit oversaturated. Like I actually, my students at Coventry, there was a spate where every single drawing that they were doing was demonic. And, it's okay. Look, I think it's like a lot of things. When I start seeing too much of something, it's like I get an aversion to it. And so it was a couple of years ago, and we had to kind of put a stop to it. It was like, no, obviously I can't, I'm not trying to enforce the law, but we just had loads of students, just everything was a demon after demon after demon. It just got to be saturation point. So I'm not averse to it. I just don't tend to do it. I grew up in the, like I say, in the 80s. So, a lot of like heavy metal covers. One of my brothers was big into heavy metal. So all that kind of stuff. I'm very well, aware of it, well versed in it. But I guess the short answer would be no. Yeah. Feel. What's your favourite thing? From Nicole. What's my favourite thing? Oh, well, you've got to narrow it down a bit. What do you mean? Do you mean to draw? I like doing figures. I do environments, but generally speaking, I think characters. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm mainly characters. Like I say, I will do sort of environments, but I'm always drawing faces. That's one of the things. I'm always drawn to faces. Faces are a little bit, without sounding too pretentious, but they can be like sort of landscapes in and of themselves. And you can do so many sort of different faces. Landscapes, good. I used to paint a lot of landscapes. I used to do skyscapes. I used to do a lot of like oil painting, like large oil paintings many years ago, and they're great. And I love doing that stuff. But yeah. Troy Boy, I don't know how people draw like you. Well, again, it's a very kind comment, Troy Boy. It's just years of drawing. I've been drawing all my life. I'm decades old, so it's a lot of practice. I do have like some natural ability, so And I was always getting into trouble at school because I'd always be drawing, I guess, how could I put it? Unflattering pictures of the teachers and then passing them around and making everyone laugh. And then I would subsequently get into trouble. But I'd just always be drawing. So, and then of course when I went to art college, this is kind of towards the late 80s, I did a lot of study, so a lot of life drawing, a lot of still life, and just different techniques, how to learn, I'd always been painting, but, how to actually paint with oils and stuff like that. So it's a lot of years of practice, and this is what I say to all my students as well, particularly over the years. A lot of this is just practice, practice, practice. And I promise you, if I don't, I've gone through periods like some years ago, I lost my mum, and it like when you lose a parent, that derails you. And so I didn't do really much creative for a long while. And you go off, you lose it's a bit like sports, if you don't train for a while, you still kind of got it, but you lose, your hand kind of goes cold. And so you have to practice, and it is daily. I mean, I draw generally every day. Some mornings I'll get up, particularly for work, I'll get up very early. I'll get up at like, say, 4:30, 5 in the morning. I'll have coffee, tea, then coffee, and then I'm drawing. I'm doing stuff like this. I've usually got something on YouTube where I'm just doodling. Sometimes I'll be doing thumbnails, thinking about what I'm going to be sketching later on if I'm doing like a live stream. But yeah, a lot of practice. Do I ever draw Harry Potter? No. I am not averse to it. Harry Potter. Some great stuff there. Some great material there. James knows I do a bit of name dropping sometimes, but I did work, because I used to work in movies. I worked with some of the team that did a lot of the concepts for that. Amazing concept artists. And that was lovely to watch them working and stuff, whatever. And they do all that kind of stuff like Star Wars and all that. And I'm not sure if I'm guessing they're still working in the industry. So I used to see a lot of that kind of stuff, a lot of their portfolios with that stuff in there. And I think that's when there was still, the Harry Potter series was still going on. So a lot of the concept stuff, there's a guy called Adam Brockbank who did a lot of the Harry Potter stuff. His stuff's amazing. He's an amazing artist. And who are some of the other ones? I forget the names now. My brain doesn't, because I'm drawing, I can't think at the moment. But yeah. But no. In answer to, again, that was a long answer, but no. Nicole, you're an amazing person. Well, that's very sweet of you, Nicole. You're an amazing person too for being here. It's a lot of this is, and James will attest to this. I do drawing on my own, but it's definitely when you've got like lovely people, without being too syrupy, but when you've got lovely people like watching the stream and making nice comments, it adds to it. It kind of inspires me to kind of do more of this. And yeah, it's a cliche, but it's true. It's and it's interactive as well. I'm just talking with people, and and as every single time I stream, it's always like a really nice day. A really nice way to unwind after the day. When the day's done and you're just relaxing, work's done, or whatever it is that you're doing. It's just like a really nice kind of chilled. And some people can't watch it as well. There are some people I've got, again, she's hopefully watching again, Lorna in Australia. She can't watch it because, it's very early morning over there. So we'll get people watching these streams later on. So that's nice as well. Thanks, James. Thanks again for nice comments. Thank you. Do you have any tips for drawing? Well, I guess like what I was saying earlier, draw from life. So observational stuff. So draw people, so friends, family. You can just sort of draw them, have them sort of sat in a chair, study them, draw them. Whenever you're drawing as well, you might see artists doing this. When, let's say this Monkey King was like posing for me in this imaginary scenario, and this is how distant he is from me. You'll often see artists doing things like this where they'll use their pencil and they'll measure the distance like from the top of the head to the chin. And you can do that by stretching out your arm. So you obviously can't see me stretching out my arm, but you stretch out your arm and then you can measure it that way. So that's a good way of doing it. Always try and use geometric shapes, so that's circles, squares, triangles, things like that. Always block things in. When you get a bit more skilled, like, I'm relatively skilled. I've been doing this for a long time. That process gets shortened down. So I'm not doing like circles and triangles and squares. I can start to kind of block in the form without necessarily, depending on what I do. I generally, I did a bit of working out with this. I'd use a bit of like line work just to kind of get the pose. But yeah, so do that. Observational drawings like bowls of fruit. It's a cliche, but it works. That's why all the old masters did it this way. So they do get like bananas, apples, grapes, and what you want to do is pose it. Maybe even a bit of cloth, and just practice drawing that. Go outside. We've got some really, depending on where you are, in the UK, although today's been a bit all over the place, we've been getting snow and sunshine all day, which is bizarre. But we've got the nice weather coming. So, in the UK or wherever you are, go out, do some drawing, draw trees, practice. It's the best way to learn. It's like practicing an instrument, like guitar. A lot of it, if you want to learn those chords, it's just doing all of that fret work and just practicing those bars, and eventually you start, making some tunes, and then before you know it, you've got a song. So a lot of practice. I feel bad for you. That's so sad. Oh, I think you might be referring to my mum. Yeah, it's truly it's terrible. When I'm not sure if you've lost. Anyone in the chat's lost a parent. It's it's not. It's the worst thing, really. Particularly like if you're looking after. Because I was like looking after my mum. So it's devastating. It's devastating. Losing anyone close to you, and but you have to get on. You have to carry on. You have to find your way through this world, and that's the thing. It's unpleasant things happen in life, and you have to find another gear and get through it. But anyway, thanks for your sympathy on that, Troy Boy. Hey, it's okay to lose someone, but it must be tough. Yeah, it's very tough indeed. Very tough, and unfortunately, I think as humans, we all experience it. Same thing with pets. We've had pets in our family all my life, and because they don't live as long as humans, it's again. I agree to it, and he goes, right. Oh, thank you, James. Yeah. If you want to point them to some of the, if you want to point them to some of the other sites, they've got my main channel as well. I haven't got much stuff on there at the moment. A lot of these stuff I tend to do is like a lot of 3D, so a lot of Blender, some Unreal Engine, things like that. But my first passion really is drawing, and absolutely love it. And but yeah, there's that, and there's some other bits and bobs. You'll probably find pictures of me online. At some point, I probably will start. I'll use the camera, so you can actually see me. But for the time being, you don't need to worry about it. But yeah, you can find pictures of me. You can probably find some old websites where I've got some of my work. Fine Art America's one. I've got some other bits and bobs kind of going on. That's good tips. Okay, I'm glad you found the tips useful, Nicole. That's grand, and I think that brings us up to speed with the comments. So thank you for all the wonderful comments, folks. That's lovely people. And yeah, great comments and great people. So we're looking now at, and again, I don't want to, James will know this, I'm always wary about doing the cross-hatching, so I want to try and keep it eventually what I want to do is I want to do like a watercolour over the top. But I always say this, when you look at a lot of this stuff here, I'm always kind of going over the top with the cross-hatching and things like that. You know, it just seems to be, I like doing it. I think this is the thing, but I do have to kind of rein myself in a little bit because I have a tendency to kind of go overboard. Right, let's have a look at Nicole's got to go. Bye, Nicole. Lovely to see you. Hope to see you again sometime soon. Thank you. Right, let me just see if I can. I'm streaming on Kick as well. We've got 2 viewers on there. I'm not sure if there's a couple of comments, but I'm not sure if that's just forgive me if it's someone who's advertising, but it's the second time I've done it on here. I've not been getting a lot of views on Kick, so I don't know whether to continue it or not. I'm sure there's plenty of lovely people on here, but I might just stick with the old YouTube, I think, in future. You may get the odd bot. I think it is, James. I think it's like bots. You're just sort of saying, Jason Etienne, come here. It's like, no, I'm not going to come here. How about I'm not going to do that? Right, let me see if I can. So I'm just trying to, I'm just very conscious about, I don't want to leave anyone out. I'm just going to refresh the page and let's have a look and see. All right. Anyway, let's crack on. Let us crack on. Right, I'm just going to concentrate a sec, folks, and now this thing is necklace. Well, first of all, he's got his neck. I'm just going to concentrate just a minute, just so I can get to grips with. I want to get his neck right. Oops, banging the camera, headbutting the camera. Don't want to do that. All right, and now his necklace is kind of like, I think they're supposed to be like almost like teeth. And then there's a kind of like skull. This is the idea anyway. It's kind of got this. It could be claws actually. It could be claws or fangs even. It could be from like defeated enemies, who knows. And then we kind of got this, whatever it is. Some kind of nasty looking creature. then we might just have another one there. Okay, so far so good. And then okay. So far, so good. Right. I'll catch up with if there's any more comments, I'll catch up in a minute. I'm just going to try and make some headway. I'm going to start working on his fur. There's like parts of his muscle there. I just need to define this a little bit more. And then there's a kind of armband. Like so, something like that. All right, so that's generally looking all right, I think. Right, let's check the comments. Oh, I think we're good. We're good at the moment. Then I think we're all. Oh, or are we? Harrison Brewster, nice art. Thank you, Harrison. It's very kind. Kingston, I'm saying hi again to you, Kingston, unless you're saying hi to Harrison. Sam, welcome back, Sam. Hi. Good to see you again. And of course, as always, thanks to James for reminding everyone to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this content, which hopefully you do. Right. Well, thank you, James. Okay. And I think generally it's going okay so far. We'll probably just get round to inking today, I think, with this character. If there's time, maybe inking the other characters, but I think this is probably going to take us up to the sort of finishing point. What time are we at now? So yeah, start a little bit later today, 6:15. So maybe around about, say, 6:15 or maybe 6:20, something like that. Right. Is that Nicole who's back? Hi back. Good to see you again. All right. Okay. Not looking too bad so far. Not looking too bad. You are back, Nicole. Well, it's good to see you again. Good to see you. There we go. Right. And this bit, I think that just needs bringing back a bit to there. Then we got his forearm. And I'm just going to get this arm done here, just up to the wrist. So I'm going to just hold back on that for the time being with the hand, because I want to get that right. I'm just now going to work my way across now with the other part of the chest. We're going to got this clavicle here, so that's that bone just above the chest. So there's a bit of a dip there. You can't really see it with this though. And then you got the kind of breastbone here, and then we got the intimation of ribs, which I'll see going something like that. So it's not strictly a chimpanzee, this is more of a kind of like human-like ape. Okay, like mythical. Just checking on the chats again, see how everyone's doing. Is this a self-portrait? British Man 007. It could well be. I like it. Thanks for the comment. Nicole saying hi again. Hi, Nicole. It could well be. It could well be a self-portrait. Indeed. Right. Let's think about something like there. Okay, so we're not doing too badly. I'm not sure about that arm. Because the band is about there, isn't it? So we've got this like metal band going around the arm. And okay. Oh, there's Nicole going again. Okay, bye Nicole. I'm just seeing this. I'm just looking at the phone. Lucy Slay, hi. Hi back, Lucy Slay. Good to see you. Thanks for dropping by. Right. Love you. Oh, that's very sweet. I love you too. And thanks for dropping by. It's a very sweet comment. Right. Right, yeah, this arm's it's a little bit. I think it was a little bit, I'm just going to have to think about this. It's a little bit too low down with the joint. So I'm just going to just do a little bit of a readjustment. Nothing too dramatic, but just need to change the angle of that a little bit. I think that's right. Something like that. I missed it. Let me have a look at the comments. Let me have a quick look at the comments. Oh, you meant you love my videos. Oh, right. Well, again, thank you. And hey, it still stands. Love to all of you. It's great having you all here. So anyway, thank you for loving my videos. And James, I love you too, mate. There we go. That's great. No, it's great. Really, James knows this. You know, every single time I stream, really, it's I'm blown away by how lovely everyone is. The great comments, and it's very encouraging. There's always like lots of love and appreciation for, you know, for the drawings, which naturally, you know, I really appreciate it. And just generally just good, just really nice people and a really good vibe. I don't think there's been one stream yet that I've done where it's been like, ugh, it's always been like, even if there's been like very few people here, always just great comments, you know. Right. All right. think that's, yeah, I think that's working. All right. James, it's very serene here. You're doing a good job at creating that atmosphere. Oh, well, it's very kind, James. I think it's like it's like all these things. It's the company. I think it's the company that definitely enhances it, and it gets reflected as well. So it's no, always a pleasure. It's always like a really lovely. Really nice time of day. And it's so different because, I follow like other people online who do like live streaming, and they always say about how, they really enjoy it. I've not really, I did some live streaming, I think during COVID, but it didn't really go anywhere. I don't think I was trying to do it with my students, but it didn't really sort of take off. So I sort of gave up on it. And I ended up just doing my pre-made videos like Blender and all these other things and some Photoshop stuff. And then picking it back up again and doing it. It's been one of those like surprise little, I didn't really plan on this. If you can believe that. I didn't really plan on it. It was, my good friend Rob bought me this sketchbook for my birthday back in December, and I'd just been drawing feverishly in it, and then I just thought, I'm start maybe like, again, it was initially just for my students. I thought, I'll live stream. Obviously it was open to everyone else, and probably the timing was a bit off. I don't want to be unfair. I think I may have some of my students kind of watching it, but it was mainly like, people like your good self, James, and some other people who started tuning in. And then it just really sort of took off. And even though it's been like, a lot of people, or maybe just some people, some evenings, but it's been a real nice surprise that I didn't plan on this year. I didn't, to use the common phrase, I didn't have it on my bingo card to be doing this. Not really. It was a bit more spontaneous than that. So, very nice. Very, very nice thing to happen. Right. So, with this, he's going to have this, he's got his kind of like, I guess they're like pants. Or if you're in America, these would be like shorts, but like you get in a kind of fantasy where it's kind of like, it's probably like leather or something or other. But he's got a little kind of belt and a belt buckle to kind of keep them on. So I'm going to I'm not sure what to put in the middle of that. Maybe I just keep it like that. I don't want to work into it too much. Maybe something like that. And then the belt itself will sort of come round like so, and same on the other side as well. Yeah, I'm fairly happy with that so far. Now the hands are going to be the deciding factor. So let's see. Let me just check the comments before I dive into the hands. So look. Oh, Honey Collier, I'm back. Welcome, Honey. Great to see you. Top Hedon, this is awesome. I'm an artist too. It's great to see you, Top Hedon. That's a very, very nice comment, and glad you like it. Honey Collar looks good. Thank you, Honey. Jacob Williams, that's great. Thank you, Jacob. That's very kind. We've got some nice emojis there as well, which is lovely. I'm going to say hi back to you, so I'm saying hi. And Honey Collier, I have just made some more drawings. Fantastic. You'll have to share like a link or like a whatever it is, DeviantArt or what's the other one? Or maybe you've got a website, I don't know. DeviantArt or ArtStation's another one, depending on what you use. Now forgive the pronunciation. Aerowat. Shall I just say Aero? Aero, hi Aero. It's great to see you here. Great, thank you. That's very, very kind of you. Honey Collier, yep, I'll try. But yes, welcome, welcome Aero. Very kind comment. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Some great comments this evening, and it's brilliant to see so many people dropping by. We've had quite a few people dropping by, which is lovely. Very nice to see. And thanks to James also. James, I've not got him on the payroll yet, but James is very kindly acting as my moderator. So I really appreciate you saying hello to everyone as well, James. It's very, you don't have to do it, and you're doing it, and that's very kind of you, matey. Thanks for doing that. But yeah, James is my, I guess, unofficial moderator. Or no, official moderator. Not unofficial. I just haven't got you in the payroll right now. Right. Okay, I'm just going to concentrate on these fingers now. I've got to find the zone now. It's going to quieten down. So just bear with me a sec, folks. I've got to find my zone. Okay. So that's one down, one to go. All right. Okay. So the idea is he's kind of sitting on this throne, which you can't see at the moment, although we've got some vines kind of growing around there. So it's like a sort of throne in the middle of the jungle, that kind of thing. So that's the idea. All right, that'll do it for that, I think. And again, I can add some little bits to that, but I think generally that's looking okay. Right, okay, I can breathe now. Right, so let's just check the comments again. Right, thank you, James, for just staying on top of the comments. Let's have a look. Honey, Collier, I've just made some more drawings. I think I've read that, haven't I? I beg your pardon. Keep the pens and pencils busy. That's you, James. Aero saying hi again. Honey saying yes, I'll try. So I'm just going through all this. It's great. Yeah, thanks, James. Thanks for talking to everyone. Now, only forgive the pronunciation. Olsiavalavic, no, Valasevic. Olsialav. Oh, forgive me. I'm butchering the name. Shall I just call you Ole. I'll just start with Ole. I'll just start with that. Ole, forgive the mispronunciation. What are you drawing with, bro? It's this. It's a, I forget the name of it now. It's, obviously it's an ink pen. I'm using this black ink here. This is Dr. P.H. Martin's, if you can see that there. I don't want to tip it up because it'll pour all over the page. It's waterproof. It's quite expensive. It's about £15. I'm not sure what that would be in euros, but it's about, over in the UK, it's about £15 on Amazon. The name of this, again, you'll have to forgive me, I can't remember the name of the nib. I can find out at the end if you stick around. I can maybe have a look. But the other one that I use is one of these as well. So kind of like, there we go, yeah. This one's kind of like doing like bigger, you know, obviously doing bigger work with it. These are the nibs. I think that's the same nib that I've got in there. If you can see that there, there we go. Get it in focus. There we are. But I do work digitally, but I just love working with traditional materials. I've got like a, you know, Procreate. I do stuff in Photoshop, but you just can't beat it. Yeah, thanks, James. Thank you, matey. Is that a paintbrush? I think you're right. Yeah, so I do use paintbrushes. So I use these for doing some of the inking. I also use one of these sometimes, which you can get online. It's a Pentel FL. Can you see that there? It's a Pentel capital FL2L. It's got like Chinese, I think it's Chinese, or is it Japanese? I'm terrible. I can't tell. It might be Japanese writing, although it might be Chinese as well. I'm looking at the characters there. It could be Chinese, although that does look Japanese. But these are really good as well. And pencil-wise, someone asked this the other day. It's a it's called Graph Gear 1000. This is actually one of my mum's old pens that I've used. She got it as a Christmas present, and I use it. And metal ones are so much better. The plastic ones are really crap. These ones just last forever. Am I finished yet? Not far from it. Not far from it. Oh, not far. Getting there. Getting there. What time are we at? I reckon another 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, because I'll finish this, and then usually what I'll do is James's favourite part, which is I'll go through the rest of my sketchbook so you can actually see previous work. Right. Anyway, moving on. Let's try and get this done. Let's try and get it in the bag. So I'm doing his kind of, they're like, I'm not sure what you call them. You can't really call them pants. They're kind of like, I guess they're just pants, aren't they? But they're like, they'd be like made of leather or maybe cotton or something, whatever, and then just from like rawhide cut into a shape, and then he's kind of got this belt going around. Well, these have been the hardest parts. The rest of this should go quite quickly now. Hands, face, body. You have to kind of get it right. Okay. And this kind of, it's going to sort of dip down. Say something like that, and here. But I've been very happy how this turned out, because like I say, it's always a gamble. Unlike, say, using Photoshop or Procreate, there's no Control-Alt-Z with this. So I'm stuck with it. And of course, any mistakes you got to live with, really. There's only been the odd occasion where I don't think I've had this when I've been live streaming, but I know from doing just stuff by myself where it's like it's not worked out and I've had to kind of go over parts of it with acrylics. But touch wood, and I'm touching my head right now and my drawing board. I've been very blessed, really, with, you know, getting it right as you can get it anyway. Not perfect, but getting it is to a point where I'm like happy with it. Right. So again, I'm just going to try and just sort of phase this part out. So this is a bit of foreshortening. So his thigh is kind of like there, but it's coming towards the camera. So this is what they call foreshortening. So you got his kneecap, which is going to be around there. But if I were to continue this, it'd keep going, obviously, and coming down. But I'm just going to kind of leave that there. It's going to take care of the other leg now. So again, being a monkey, he'll have very hairy legs. So and again, I'm just kind of fading this out because obviously it's where the page ends. So I don't want to draw all the way up to the end. I'm just going to kind of phase it out. It's like a sort of transition almost. All right. And then the rest of that can be taken care of with a bit of paint. And then it's just really the throne now. So again, I'm thinking got something like that. So this is kind of like one of the armrests. And I'm thinking like this is like stone. This has been sort of maybe like the tribe. This is like, obviously this has been in the tribe for generations. So many kings have kind of sat here. So it's probably a little bit weathered. Right, I'm just going to about there. And there's probably going to be a bit of like a drop shadow there. Maybe the entire thing, and also probably with that as well. And that will continue going across there. Okay, and then this will be these arms, obviously on this throne. We can't see it, but they'll be continuing to kind of go down that way. And then similar thing with this one as well. Might see if we can just put a little bit more detail. So that's going to be like dark, because you're not going to, depending on where the light's coming from, if the light's coming from there, you know, that's not going to be lit, whereas this is going to have a little bit of lighting. And so you probably will have like a bit of a drop shadow going on there. And then we'll probably have something like a bit of cross hatching. And again, I'll probably bring this out with some watercolor at some point. I mean, I might, depending on how things go, I might do that in tomorrow's stream, we'll see. And then this is going to be a bit sort of unstructured, because this is like old stone. So it's almost like it's had some knocks over the years, so it's kind of been carved out. So maybe even some cracks, some chips here and there. Again, I don't want to go too much overboard with that, because again, I can take care of a lot of that with paint. And I will check the comments in a minute, because I think we're getting close to landing the plane, so to speak. And then here, just these last bits here, these are like almost like vines. You know, you get in like Cambodia, where you got like the old Buddhist temples. So the idea would be that it's kind of, you got these like vines kind of creeping in. They almost look like tentacles, but something like that. Behind here as well, I'll probably have some greenery. This is probably like a big chip in the stone. And then here, and again, I might, yeah, I'll work into that with some paint, I think. But here, again, on this very battered kind of throne, we'll also have another bit of these sort of vines kind of coming through. And coming through that way like so. And then we'll have that. And it's kind of going off screen. So again, I can work into that some more, possibly tomorrow, but I think generally that's working all right. All right, so just going to check the comments, and then we shall be looking to just doing a quick review, and then we shall land the plane. Let me just go back, see which ones I've missed. That was the last one I saw from Ole, which is I finished, and James said no. Ivy, oh my God, amazing. Thank you very much. That's a lovely comment again, with a series of exclamation marks as well. So that's very kind, thank you. So thanks for that, Ivy. Thanks, James. Thanks for reminding people about sticking around. Okay, cool. I think that's it, isn't it? And then Ivy said, okay, cool. And I think that's all of them. Right, okay. So thanks for the lovely comments. Let's now, obviously I don't want to, this is still kind of drying a bit, so I don't want to be smudging anything. I think as long as I'm careful, it should be fine, right? I'll just have to kind of, but I think that turned out rather well. Let me just hold it up to the screen. I think it turned out rather well. I really liked how that turned out. His body, I thought, worked out really well. The hands as well, always tricky to do, but the hands turned out really well as well, in my opinion, you know. And overall, I think it's looking pretty good. So that's grand. Let's have a look at, so let's go back now. Let me just move that out of the way. There we go. So these ones here are probably about a week old. I've been doing a lot of time lapses. So if you go onto TikTok and follow me on there, you'll see I've been doing a lot of time lapse videos on there. This was one of them. They've been blowing up on TikTok really well, and having some great comments as well. So be sure to subscribe and comment on there as well. And then we've got this gentleman here. I really like this one. I'm not even sure if I'm going to colour this one. I just called it Monocle. This is one I did a time lapse on TikTok and on Instagram as well. But I really liked how it turned out. Got some faces. These were done about over a week ago, something like that. I love drawing faces. Ivy, you're so good at drawing. Thank you so much. I've been drawing all my life. I've been drawing for decades, but that's a lovely comment. Thank you very much. And then I somehow drew these upside down. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I was getting tired. This one, again, I did a time lapse of this one. I really love this one actually. It was this kind of like fantasy character going into battle with this giant bull, and then we've got like an old mech character from the First World War, obviously alternate reality, alternate universe, and another guy who's like a sort of like Victorian factory worker with mech arms, and I did like a series of drawings as well, like how it actually works. So I did his arms, and then just tried to work out some of the mechanics of like, it's basically like a huge backpack, but it'd have to be like, don't know, steam driven or hydraulics or something or other. But I quite liked that. I'll have to paint these. I'm not going to have to paint them. And then we've got this one here, this gentle giant. Had some lovely comments on this, and I think Kit Kats was with me when I was doing this one, and yeah, I think it turned out really well. It was kind of like a gentler piece, and he's got this kind of tear coming down his face, moved by her kindness and beauty. And then we've got this. Oh, thanks, Ivy. That again, that's very. Oh, you subscribed, Ivy. Thank you so much for subscribing. It'll be great to kind of have you on board, and glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, so basically this one was called When Things Go Bump in the Night. So when things go bump in the night, sometimes, you know, just stay in bed, just go back to sleep, because you might find that you get up, go outside your bedroom, and you'll be confronted with something that looks like this. And it's actually, oddly enough, it was based on a story, which I'll tell you another time, allegedly a true story, about this man called Smith Bigglesworth. I'll tell you more about that if you ask me in the next stream. I'll tell you about it. But allegedly, this happened. He met something quite horrible on his stairs when he woke up in the night. This is going back about 100 odd years ago in America. But anyway, I shall tell you more about it if you're interested. And this was part of a series. This was like a steampunk medieval Ghostbuster. So this character kind of goes around basically extinguishing all kinds of infestations in people's houses. I quite like that. I still might do some more with this, but I quite like the character. Then we've got a Cyber Queen. She's kind of got what looks to be like a V8 engine mounted on her head, but again, I really liked how that turned out. I liked the garment as well. I really liked, oops, there we go, how the fabric came out on that. And this one I did yesterday. James, you were in on this. It was a father protecting his daughter from an orc army. Then we've got a, I guess, a spin-off from the original Alien film. This character kind of like going in this, on this, was it LV-246, whatever it was called, except it's probably a different planet. And then another steampunk character who's got these kind of floating globules of pink stuff. Got this guy, someone said he looked a bit like Tom Selleck. He probably does a little bit, you know, Magnum PI. But also, I think it was Kit Kat who was talking about this. It was probably partly subconsciously inspired by the film Time Cop with Jean-Claude Van Damme, where it goes back, or this character goes back into the past, and these guys in the Wild West have got these like futuristic weapons. Anyway, like that. We've got Parasite. Ivy. I like that. Excellent. Parasite Shroom. Is it just me, or does anyone else want a monster? Well, you know, even be careful what you wish for, because you may end up with a monster. Who knows? But anyway, thanks for the comment, and most welcome. Thanks, James. This was a suggestion from MTB Dan. Now, MTB Dan's, I'm hoping he's all right. I've not seen him in the streams of late, so I'm hoping he's doing all right. MTB Dan, if you're watching this, or Dan, as he likes to be called, if you are watching this, I hope you're doing okay, buddy. He suggested this. It was basically like a pirate ship being destroyed by a monster, so I decided to kind of create this kraken. Ivy, are you an artist, or can you just draw amazing pictures? Okay, I imagine James is probably getting maybe a little bit sick of this now, but very, very quick CV. I've drawn all my life. I used to make animated films, stop frame animation. I did some graphic design, and then ended up working in movies for about 10 years, or almost 10 years, a couple of years shy of 10 years. Worked on films like Kick-Ass, Elizabeth, did a bit of unofficial work on X-Men First Class, unaccredited, and Alexander, and a whole bunch of other films. I don't know if you ever saw, what was it called, Nanny McPhee. You might have seen it when you were younger, but I did work on that, and a bunch of other things. And now I teach games art at Coventry University. So there we are. There we go. James, you've probably heard this probably about 100 times now, haven't you? But people do ask, so I guess. Candice Brackhoven or Breakhoven, beautiful. Thank you, Candice. Should be in a museum. Wow. Well, I'm very moved by that. That's high praise indeed. Thank you so much. Lovely comments. Lovely comments. And Candice, thank you so much for your lovely comment. We've got some more here. This is kind of like a Gandalf character going across the meeting some kind of warrior type character. And then we've got a giant's graveyard. So this was supposed to be like, this is the word I was trying to think of, Nephilim. So this is like from the Old Testament, these Nephilim that roam the earth, these giants who, were kind of like, I guess they were like angels, I don't know. But anyway, it's kind of like based on that. So they kind of had this mass battle, and then you kind of got this graveyard now of these giants. And then this is like sort of father and his little son kind of walking across this wasteland. I quite liked how that turned out. James Candice, I'm trying to. well, James, as you know, I am going to try. Well, I keep saying this. I'm going to. It's very early days at the moment. This is how far. Let me show you how far I am through this book. I'll show you in terms of thickness. So about there. So let's have a look. That's how far I am through it at the moment. That's how much I've got to go. So I'm actually over halfway. But the idea is, at some point, is to do a Kickstarter. So this is the idea. It's not now, but at some point a little bit later in the year. And then get all these scanned and make a book. I've already got ideas. I've been doing some visuals. I will start talking about this relatively soon. I've just got to at least just start planting that idea for people who come by. But the idea is eventually I get this scanned, turned into a book through a Kickstarter, and then see how much interest we can do. I had a very good friend of mine, Paul, who did a Kickstarter for a board game called Full Moon Jacket. Go and check it out as well. Absolutely amazing board game, and he did very well. So I keep saying this occasionally. I'm not sure Paul will ever see these videos, but I'm going to have to see if I can get in contact with him and just get some advice from him about how he did it and what he did. Anyway, some more steampunk characters here. This was, James will know this, this started off completely different. He was like a Medusa character, and then it turned into some guy who's in his living room in the Victorian era, and then this kind of demon comes out of nowhere. Someone asked earlier, do I do demons? I guess that'll be as close to demons that I do. Then we've got these like, I don't know, learned scholars, gentlemen, 17th century, or not 17th, 19th century gentlemen with the old lamb chops and all that, whatever. This guy looked a bit like Lenny McLean, although someone else said he looked like someone different. And this is definitely like, you know, very steampunky, this kind of, they've got this gentleman with his wife on the London streets, and this creature bursts out the cobbles, ready to devour them. I quite liked how that turned out. I've still got to paint this as well. This was just a doodle, some crazy sketches. This is one of my favourite. Oh no, not that. I'll get to that in a minute. Another guy from this series, this kind of creature from another dimension. And then this one I really liked. It's kind of like a Time Bandits type thing. This guy's riding this purple hog. This is one of my favourites. This is I've got an idea that this will be on the cover. I'm not sure yet. This may be on the front of the cover of the eventual sketchbook that I'll be getting printed. And he's like sort of Fred Dibner type character with his backpack. But again, to be continued, but this is the idea that I've got. Got another character here who's kind of dissolving some kind of entity. And Mrs. Miggins with tentacles coming out of her face. You certainly wouldn't want to meet her on a dark night. And then I think this might be her husband. So they're kind of like maybe the undead, or maybe just interdimensional creatures posing as people from the 19th century, or maybe even earlier. Could be a little bit earlier, maybe the early 19th century. And we've got this guy. I quite like this dude. He might be an alien, but he's smoking a pipe. He doesn't mean you any harm. He's just, and he's got a glass of port in his hand, so he's just chilling. And so, maybe like there are other people from where he comes from might be looking to do you harm, but he's pretty chilled. This was one of the first ones from that series that I did. This guy, again, probably like something like an industrial magnate type character, but look at his hands. He's got claws, so he's not entirely human. And again, I never got around to painting him. Another steampunk character there. And I'm not going to go through the entire thing. This is going back now a good many weeks, if not months. I did this kind of character. It was a bit like Halo, but I quite liked it. It was this kind of sci-fi character, and he's got this bird. Looked a bit like a kingfisher or something. That's just kind of gone and perched himself on his hand. And I quite like that. He's kind of like this rough-looking dude, but, he's obviously got like a gentle side. And I've got some other ones. This is kind of like, Warhammer 40k type character. I didn't mean for it to be that way, but someone made a comment and I went, you know what, subconsciously, that's exactly what I've just done. And this one I still love. This girl riding this, almost like a wingless, it's like a wing. Let's see if I could zoom out a little bit. Can I zoom out? Well, no, cancel. Whoa, I almost ended the stream. Almost ended the stream. Oh dear. Don't want to do that. We will be ending soon. There we go. So you can see it in its entirety. Yeah, he's kind of like a wingless griffin. But I really liked how it turned out. I really love the face on there and the girl, just the whole thing. Really like it. And some others. Let me just check the comments. Ivy, I'm subscribed. I think I've read that. Thank you very much. Wowzers. Thank you, Ivy. Thank you, James. 20 likes. Wow, fantastic. Ivy, you deserve a wow. Thank you, Ivy. That's very kind. And Love Heart as well. Thank you. Thank you. And then I've still got to paint this one as well. It's kind of like this character fighting the undead. Again, I quite liked how these turned out. And just a few more. This character here. Let me just see if I can just zip through some of these. Yeah, some of these I've still got to paint them. Maybe I will paint them. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I'll see. That one I quite liked. It's kind of like, you know, fantasy fairy tale type character. And that one there. This one I quite liked. I'd like to kind of paint this one. And a few more. That was like homage to Mobius. Got one here. Got one there. And let's go forward to where are we? One of my favourites. I'll end on one of my favourites, which is a kind of that. I like that character, Kung Fu character. I think that turned out really well. One of my favourites is, if I can find it. There we go. I might even paint this, but I'm going to end on this one. This was kind of like sometime in the future. These guys are like miners on some asteroid or some planet. And I really liked how they turned out. I might just tidy it up a little bit, but they're in the bar. They finished the shift and they've got these robots kind of just pouring them drinks and they're basically just getting hammered until the next shift. And I really liked how it turned out. I liked his arm. I was really happy with that, and the hands and the faces and all that. So, but again, I might give some more colour to that. I'll see. Anyway, shall we end it there, folks? Well, what a wonderful stream, wonderful people, and let's have a look at the last comments. You deserve a wow. Thank you, Ivy. Thank you. 4 people. Wow. Some more love hearts. Honey Collier saying hi back to you. I think we're going to wrap things up tomorrow. Now, tomorrow. It's Thursday. I think it's going to be a slight, because I'm teaching tomorrow, so I'm going to be back a little bit later. So it might be a bit of a later stream tomorrow. Could be around about 7ish. I'll see how I do for time. It's the M1. The M1 can be a little bit tricky sometimes coming from Coventry. So we'll see how it goes. But the aim will be then. If not then, definitely Friday. So we'll definitely be streaming either or both days. We shall see. But other than that, folks, thank you so much. Thanks to James. James, you're an absolute legend. Thank you so much, matey, for being so great in the stream, and just for being friendly to everyone and accommodating. It's really appreciated. I'm not sure about a beer. I think I owe you probably several crates at this point, so that'll be probably later on in the year. So cheers, matey. Thank you to everyone for your lovely comments. It's been such a brilliant stream. We'll just go back to the Monkey King there. I'm really happy how it turned out. Thanks for all your encouragement. Brilliant, beautiful people. Love you all. It's great. Take care of yourselves, folks. Have a lovely evening or morning or afternoon or wherever you are. And please return. Look forward to seeing you in the next stream. Take care, folks. Bye for now. Cheers, James. Much appreciated. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Bye.